Hey guys, my channel will see a huge update, and that update is all about the return of Reverse 1999. That content will make a full return, and I will cover everything about Reverse 1999, big news, guys and walkthroughs. Everything about Reverse 1999 will be covered on this channel from now on. What does that mean for TCG Pocket? Absolutely nothing. I will keep covering Pokemon TCG Pocket in the exact same manner as I already do right now. The Reverse 1999 content will be just added on top of what I already do anyways for Pokemon TCG Pocket. If you watch my channel, then you will already know about me that I'm always as transparent as I possibly can be, and I'm always 100% honest and straightforward. So what led me to this decision? Let me tell you, that is the fact that, in my personal opinion here, Pokemon TCG Pocket just hit absolute rock bottom with this newest expansion, and it is the worst metagame that we ever had. Like the whole state of the game is the worst that it has ever been, and I don't have much hope for the future. I mean, maybe this added ranked mode at the end of the month will do something to change that. I doubt it though. We're gonna wait and see, but I don't have much fun with Pokemon TCG Pocket anymore, and the community is also like not really something that I desperately want to be a part of, you know. Let's just keep it at that. And another reason is also that the content in Pokemon TCG Pocket, there is just no content, you know what I mean? There's not much to cover. There's nothing. There are no events, just absolutely nothing to cover, right? So that's about it for Pokemon TCG Pocket, and I want to step up my content for YouTube, and Pokemon TCG Pocket doesn't allow me to do that at all. Reverse 1999 though is a game that I play since it launched, and I'm still on it, and it never disappoints. I absolutely love this game, and I think it's the best mobile game on the market, easily, yeah? So this is my first decision. If I want to add another game to my channel and my content about, Reverse 99 is absolutely the go-to for me. And the Reverse 1999 community was always very heartwarming and friendly to me, while the Pokemon TCG Pocket community is the absolute opposite of that. It's like if you would compare hell and heaven to each other. And yeah, those are the reasons. That is everything on my mind, and that is what led me to make that decision, right? To now also cover Reverse 1999 again, but one more time. Don't worry about it, and keep it in mind that my Pokemon TCG Pocket content is not going anywhere, right? Again, the Reverse 1999 content that will come up is added on top of what I already do for Pokemon TCG Pocket. The content for Pokemon TCG Pocket will not suffer from me now also covering a second game. So don't worry about that one bit, okay? So with all of that out of the way, let's now take a look at the most successful deck lists that we have in the game right now and cover the metagame. So there are 4 decks right now, and let's take a look at them. First of all, we have Cheese. Yep, the Cheese is back. And why is this deck now more successful than it was in the past? Excuse me. What makes this deck now better than ever? Yeah, there are of course obvious reasons, right? You can boost this Articuno now with a giant cape. You can slap a Rocky Helmet on that, and you have a Cyrus, which synergizes beautifully with Articuno's Blizzard. So those are already 3 options that we never had before. But right now, what takes this deck to a whole nother level is that Irida, because now water type decks have something that is almost equally as good as an Erika is. And yeah, we all know, I don't need to explain how good or why Erika is so amazing, you know. Now Articuno has it. The problem in the past was that if you do not like draw into that Misty, or you don't flip a heads on that Misty early, you will be a little bit on the slower side of things. And that leads to Articuno eating a lot of damage, right? And it's kind of frail because of you are not being able to get ahead in tempo if that Misty doesn't flip heads. So right now, with healing 40 damage from this Articuno with Irida, you can make up for the time loss that you might suffer from by not either drawing that Misty or not flipping heads, you know. You also, as I said, you have that Cyrus, so that the 80 damage from Blizzard can actually always guaranteed hit where it hurts the enemy the most, and you can increase Articuno's HP. You can return damage to your opponent in case he attacks that Articuno with the Rocky Helmet, and you know, that really elevates this deck to a whole nother level, especially Irida, of course. So there you go. This thing is pretty successful, and is it a top meta deck? Not on like it's not the best deck or anything like that, you know, but it sees a whole lot of success, and you have to be prepared to face this. This can also be played with Palkia, but Palkia is a little bit inconsistent. Articuno is the better choice here, so yeah, if you want to go for this, play it with Articuno. But if you for some reason really would want to, you could also play this with Palkia, although that is not recommended. And there's one more thing to mention here, and that is that the Pikachu, the lightning type decks, are completely 100% gone, and even the Magnezone that is played in Darkrai decks is way less seen. This is way less play. So the weakness of Articuno is also like not really a factor anymore at all, right? So yeah, there's another reason why this deck is so amazing and so successful right now. But now let's move on to another deck. And the deck that we're gonna move on to is this Leafeon deck. Now this is a little bit of a banger because, you know, I'm 100% honest, and I think this deck is absolute unplayable dog shit. And yeah, let me first of all tell you that this deck plays both grass energy and water energy. And the only reason here why you play the water energy is that you can use one copy of Irida. I mean, that already like is so stupid. I can't word this any different, you know. Of course, yeah, you can attach water energy to water energy, in fact, to Leafeon, because it needs only one grass energy to use its attack. But this attack is weak as fuck, right? This is stage 1 that deals 70 damage. That is pathetic. That is like nothing, you know. Basic Pokemon deal more damage for less energy here. So yeah, the attack is pathetic, and it's a stage 1, and it has to be in the active. Otherwise, it cannot even use its ability, which is what it's used for. And this thing is in EX, it will give up 2 prizes. And it has to be in the active. You have to use this Leafeon in the active to provide Celebi, which, by the way, you also only play one copy of. So you are extremely reliant to draw into that Celebi, which that just won't happen every game, you know. You will lose instantly for free just by not drawing into that Celebi, especially if you are like this deck, which is the most successful deck list. Play only one copy of it. Like, it is absolutely impossible, you know. You will also lose, just waste turns completely for free, because you will not be able to attach a grass energy to Celebi, as the energy that is generated for you this turn is a water energy, So you lose a whole coin flip there, a whole turn. This can be 50 damage, right? This can make or break. I mean, yeah, that's it, right? You can look at the deck list and you can think for yourself whatever you want about this deck. I told you everything that you need to know. If you want my opinion, it's absolute shit and unplayable garbage, but I mean, it sees some success here and there, so I had to mention it. Now we're gonna take a look at this Dialga deck list, and keep in mind this is the most successful deck list currently available in the game if you look at the full picture and at every tournament, right? Not just at the last one, which I will mention again in a second. So you see, let me first of all remind you of the fact that you have to ignore this Mars, right? The Mars is not actually played in any deck lists whatsoever, This is just a cheating mechanic in tournaments, because I've talked about this in detail in the past, so let me just make it short here. You are able to look at your opponent's deck list if you participate in a tournament, and you will see cards there in deck lists that you have to play around. You have to change your decision making and adapt to the deck list that you see, and there are cards that you have to adapt to more than others, and Mars is the number one key card that you have to adapt to, because knowing that your opponent has placed this Mars, it was the red card in the past was used for the exact same purpose. And nothing else in this game changes your decision making and your adaptation as much as you seeing the enemy place a red card or nowadays Mars. So that's about that. Ignore that. That is not actually part of the deck list, okay? Just wanted to remind you of that real quick, because it's quite a while ago that I covered this. But whatever, you see this Dialga deck list here, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, But it is the most successful deck list currently available in the game, and it's nothing else sees as much success as this deck list if you look at all tournaments, right? So why doesn't that make any sense? That is very, very simple. I had the same discussion already back when Yanma EX, when people thought Yanma or Yanmega, whatever it's called, you know which card I'm talking about. People thought this card will be really, really good, and it will be played with Dialga, and it was played with Dialga. It popped up in tournaments, I covered it, blah blah blah, right? In the end, I always told people that this is complete nonsense and that they have no idea what they are talking about. And I was in the end proven to be 100% correct. And it is very, very simple why that is. You play Dialga only if you win, or you gain a tempo advantage by using its energy acceleration. And if you pair Dialga with something that only needs 3 energy as an attachment, you will not save a single turn. You can find this out just by counting to 3. But it seems to be too difficult for most TCG Pocket players to count to 3, so let's go over it real quick. On your first turn, on the first turn that you have, that you are available to attach an energy. You attach an energy to Dialga, that's it. You end your turn. On the second turn, that you are available to attach an energy. You attach another energy to Dialga, and now you use this attack that generates 2 energy to one of your benched Pokemon, right? Now, your Arceus on the bench has 2 energy attached at your turn 2. And on the third turn, now you use your energy attachment to give Arceus this energy, and it has 3 energy attached. You retreat that Dialga and you go nuts with Arceus. If you count it together with me, then you know that Dialga here in this case did absolutely nothing. the value that the Dialga gave you here is 0. It is nothing. Yeah, you could have attached that energy to Arceus anyways without the Dialga. You know, the Dialga energy acceleration did nothing for you. 0 value, nothing, you know. Now you could argue, but it is used as a wall because it has 150 HP as a basic. That is not an argument. You can use literally every single EX Pokemon out there. There are so many EX Pokemon out there that also have 150 HP. Like, for argument's sake here, you could even use like a Snorlax that has 150 HP. That isn't even an EX Pokemon, you know. If we are just talking about this one, which Dialga doesn't do anything else than being a wall. So you have much better options to use as a wall than this Dialga. And the energy acceleration from Dialga, again, as we just counted together to 3, doesn't do anything for you. Nothing, you know. This is why this deck list makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, no matter how you spin it, right? The one copy of Araman that reduces your damage that you take by 20 for one turn. I mean, you gotta be kidding if that's your argument here. So there you go. Like, that's proof, you know, that the Dialga doesn't make any sense whatsoever because it doesn't save you a turn. It is really as simple as that, but people can't grasp it. And that's why this deck sees so much play. And since this deck sees so much play, success already comes automatically with it, right? It's, of course, if everyone plays this deck, then someone will have success with it, you see? But it doesn't make any sense. And there you go. I mean, I have to show it to you, right? Because nothing else sees as much play, and nothing else is as successful in the grand scheme of things. But now let's look at what just won the biggest tournament that Pokemon TCG Pocket has outside of Japan, which is this deck here, based around Rampardos. And yeah, I mean, the problems that this deck have here and why it's complete as well should be very obvious to everyone. So let's still go over it, right? First of all, look at this deck is about Rampardos, so let's take a look at him first. And you will notice that this is a stage 2 that doesn't even one-shot a basic Pokemon that has weakness to it, which is Arceus. Arceus has 160 HP if you slap a giant cape onto it, which you will always, in 100% of your matches, you will always slap a giant cape on that Arceus. So it effectively has 160 HP. You will always have that giant cape ready. If your opponent has a stage 2 in play, then you will have that giant cape in your hand. Otherwise, you are ridiculously unlucky. And this, yeah, the odds of you having that giant cape in your hand and ready to go at the moment that your opponent has a stage 2 in play is astronomically high. So it's fair to look at it like this. That makes this already pathetic, right? You should already see that you should not play this deck. But there are way more downsides here. Look, you have to play a fossil. That is always a downside. That is always bad. That is never what you want. And you have to buy yourself some time. You have to buy yourself some turns to set that Rampardos up. You know, it's a stage where you have to evolve it, and that takes specific draws and time. You know. And so you have to have something that buys you that time. Now look at the rest of the deck, at the other Pokemon that are supposed to buy you that time. What do you start with, right? Riolu? No. Never something you want. Obvious. Marshadow? No, absolutely not. Obvious. The only thing you have here as a good starter is Sudowoodo. you play only one copy of this, and you are reliant again on something, and that is that your opponent has a Pokemon EX in play. Otherwise, it's a Riolu with 20 more HP, you know? Pathetic dog water. Obviously, since you only play one copy of this Sudowoodo, you can figure out the odds alone, right? They are astronomically low. So you will, in most of your matches, in over 90% of your matches, not be able to start with that Sudowoodo. So your start is pathetically weak. Then you rely on getting a stage 2. You rely on also, on top of the stage 2, get a stage 1 out. And all of this with nothing that buys you time, nothing that stalls, and everything just deals 20 damage at the start of your match. You will be outpaced and lose so much tempo so quickly that you will never recover from this ever. If you face just a good deck and a somewhat decent player, you will be completely outmatched here, and it is obvious, you know? Nothing you can do. But anyways, right? This won the biggest tournament outside of Japan, like a few hours ago of me uploading this video. So it is what it is. That's how low the quality of players, of tournaments and matches in general is in Pokemon TCG Pocket, and that's why I say it hit absolute rock bottom, right? You can agree or disagree, it doesn't matter, you know. This is, of course, if you think this is fun and those are actually good decks, sure, go ahead, that's good for you. You will enjoy Pokemon TCG Pocket then. For me personally, that is absolutely not the case. I think this is a complete uncompetitive clusterfuck that makes no sense whatsoever. But to each their own. Feel free to think different. That is absolutely fine by me, you know. And that's it about the video. I wanted to show you the most successful deck lists that are played right now in tournaments and what will be the meta you play in for the next at least 2 months before we get new cards. Right? Again, if you like what you see, if you think this makes perfect sense and this is fun, cool, you can enjoy Pokemon TCG Pocket then. That is just a positive thing all around, you know? Yeah, I think very negative of this. I think this is the most boring. I already talked about this, so yeah. I mean, if you enjoy it, cool. If not, cool, right? Doesn't matter in the end. All this video I wanted to be about is giving you the channel update, informing you that I will now cover a different game as well as Pocket, and that the Pokemon TCG Pocket content won't suffer from this one single tiny bit. And show you the most successful deck lists, right? Show you the meta. Yeah, this is the meta, by the way. This is like proven already. The tournaments are played, and yeah, this game is dumbed down and no science. So if this meta sees any changes, they will be very tiny, you know. Not much will change here for the next 2 months. So there you go. That's all I wanted to talk about. If you like Pokemon TCG Pocket in general, or even reverse 1999 content for that matter, then please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and bye bye.